And then I made a peyote tube, um, and made it into a circle.
Mhm.
I did use inside the circle, I used IV tubing.
IV,
Uh,
IV tubing. Now, how does that enter the picture?
well, my husband unfortunately was in the hospital, and I went to visit him, and I brought my beads as I always do, and I started looking at the tubing. It was attached to him at the time. And I started beading around it, okay? And I was like, wow. And the nurse comes in and she goes, please don't do that. And I said, and Ray goes, oh, she's been trying to kill me for years. And she said, please don't do that. So yeah, okay, I'm sorry. She came in with a huge coil of tubing, okay, for me to take home, which was very sweet.
Yeah. And you have a very interesting story about this piece. Apparently, you saw it. It was offered a few years ago by Sotheby's, the actual Castellani family necklace, right? I'm thinking there was only one in the world, but I could be wrong. Anyway, you notice that it was being offered for sale, I think in Dubai, by Sotheby's, right? And that was happening. Something else was happening. One year after you made this piece, you took it with you to the American Craft Show in San Francisco, and you displayed it prominently. And then a woman walks up, and what happens next?
Well, she looked at it, she says, oh, Castellani. And I said, oh, are you familiar with? And she said, yes, I'm the curator for Sotheby's of this collection. So then I like probably jumped on her lap or something and said, tell me about this piece, tell me about that piece. And she's really a lovely lady, and she bought the piece. So she was really and very helpful. She even has sent me emails about other archaeological revival jewelers and things like that. So it was really quite fun to meet her, and I was honored, you know.
Yeah, it was like the piece was destined to go to her because she knew what the original point of inspiration was. In fact, she was closely related to it.
Yes.
And it happens that through a very unfortunate crisis in her life, she lost the necklace and could never get it back again. It was destroyed. And so she really begged you to make a second version. And then what happened?
Um, well, I did. I made her a second version. There's no two ways about it. And I believe she wore it when they brought back Castellani in Sotheby's. I believe she wore it there recent in the last couple of years. But I was happy to make it again for her. You know, I like making the piece, and I really she gave me so much information. I just liked her. You know, why not like her?
I've never heard of St. Petersburg stitch. I'm not nearly as much a master of different techniques as you are, so I'm going to have to look it up. Where did you ever come across it?
I think I had a friend who made a necklace. We were at dinner one night, and she did it all in gold of double St. Petersburg. And I think it was a project in Beadwork magazine or Beading, I can't remember.
Okay.
It was gorgeous. And I said, what is it? And she said, oh, this is St. Petersburg chain. So immediately I got the magazine, or I looked it up, and I found this chain. And it is really a beautiful chain. I've used it in bezels. I've used it quite a bit. So funny story though, I was at my friend Julia's house in Naples, and one woman who works for her was watching me bead, and she's like, what is that called? And I told her St. Petersburg chain, and she kind of laughed. She said, there's no chain like that in St. Petersburg. So, and she's from Ukraine and Russia, so it was kind of funny.